Hello, good morning, student. Hello, good morning, student. Good morning, student. Good morning. Good morning to everyone. Okay, the today topic is the atomic radii. Atomic radii. Distance from the center of the nucleus to the outermost electron. That is called as the atomic radii. The atomic radii of the d block elements. D block elements. The four different variation observed in the atomic radii. Atomic radii decreases, atomic radii remains same, atomic radii increases, and atomic radii increase along the group. These are the four variations we have to observe in the d block element along the axis and the from the along the groups. So let's discuss the first one. The atomic radii decreases. The atomic radii, atomic number, the particularly the screen. Atomic number, the particular series, the decreases from indium to magnesium with increasing atomic number, because electrons are enter into the same shell. Electrons are enter into same shell as increasing the voice. Hello. Hello, voice. Now voice is clear. Hello, students. Now voice is clear. No, I think the network problems here. Network problem. Hello. Hello, students. Now voice is clear. So atomic radii, there is a four different variation observed in the d block element. The atomic radii decreases, atomic radii remains same, atomic radii increases, and the atomic radii increases along the groups. So first we will discuss the atomic radii decreases. As when we are moved from the scandium to magnesium, when we are moved from the scandium to magnesium, the atomic numbers are increased here, and electrons are shifted into the same shell. Electrons are shifted into same shell here. So that's why the electrons are shifted into same shell, and the number of protons are increases. When we are move along the period, the atomic radii, the electrons are shifted into the same shell here, the same shell, the D, this is the 3D orbital. Electrons are shifted into the 3D orbital, and the number of protons are increased here. Number of protons are increased in the nucleus, and number of protons are increases, but the electrons are remains in the same shell. So that's why the scandium to magnesium, which are holding the strong nuclear attractions, are holding. So that's why the atomic radii here decreases from scandium to magnesium. So here the protons are increases, number of protons are increased, the number of protons are increased. So that's why we here it consider as a effective nuclear charge. Effective nuclear charge is greater than the screening effect. Effective nuclear charge greater than the screening effect. Therefore, radius are decreases here. as the number of protons are increases, electrons are in the same shell. Again, number of electrons are increased, electrons in the same shell, and the protons are increased. Protons are increased means increasing the effective nuclear charge. If effective nuclear charges are increases, then the electrons, outermost electrons, are holding strong nuclear attraction. Due to the strong nuclear attraction, the atomic radii are decreased from scandium to manganese. Now is it clear, students? Okay, we will discuss the ionic radii. After this atomic radii, we will discuss. Okay. So now is it clear, students? Okay. So atomic radii remain same. So when we are moved from the iron to nickel, in this case the atomic number increases. The iron to nickel, again the atomic numbers are increased, but electrons increases, and the screening effect is also increased here. Screening effect means the inner electrons are more repulsed to the outer electrons. That is the screening effect, or may say the repulsion. Inner shell repulsed to the outer shell. It is screening effect. The screening effects are also increased here. So it means both are moved parallelly. Effective nuclear charge is equal to screening effect. That's why radius are remained same here. If I am using here this atom, the voice is not clear. Voice is clear. Voice is clear. I think some students the network problems. That's why in your area, in your locality, I think the network problems. I think that's why you are facing the. Hello. Now voice is clear, students. Now voice is clear. Okay, students. Whatever the electrons are there here, the electrons are getting the nuclear attraction. Whatever the electrons are getting the nuclear attraction. Right. Nuclear attractions are equal to whatever nuclear attractions are there here, the outermost electrons which are experiencing the nuclear attraction, the same amount of the repulsion causes by the inner shell to outer shell. Whatever the amount of attractions are present outer shell to the inner nucleus, the same amount of repulsions are experienced by the outer shell from inner shell. So that's why the amount of attraction is equal to amount of the repulsion here. So we are considering here the effective nuclear charge and screening effect both are neutral. So that's why the atomic radii remain same. Is it clear, students? No. So this is the nucleus, and here is the electrons. So these electrons and this nucleus are having the kind of attraction. This is called as a effective nuclear charge. This is called nuclear charge. Right, students? And this is the 3d orbital. And for S2. So here the 4s2 electrons and here the many other shells are there here, right? So these are the 3s, these we consider 3s2, 3p6, etc. Right. Okay students, so these the whatever the d orbital electrons are getting the nuclear attractions are here. These are getting the nuclear attractions. The same amount of repulsion experienced by the d orbital from 3s and 3p orbitals. Whatever the amount of nuclear attractions are getting by the 3d orbitals, 3d orbital, the same amount of repulsion is from the same amount of repulsion experienced from the 3s and 3p. Same amount of the repulsion experience from the 3s and 3p. So that's why amount of attractions from 3d to nuclear charge and same amount of repulsions experienced by the 3d orbital from the 3s and 3p, both are equal. So that's why the effective nuclear charge equal to screening effect, like this. So whatever the amount of attractions are getting by the 3d orbitals, the attraction, that is the effective nuclear charge, the same amount of repulsion it experience from the inner orbital 3s, 3p and etc. Hello students. Hello students. Hello students. Hello. Voice is not clear. I think the network problems just network problem is there, so just adjust, just be on the network area. My voice is not clear. So students, listen, I will. Okay. This is the nucleus. This is the nucleus, students. Whatever the amount of attraction experienced by the 3d orbitals, the same amount of the repulsions experienced by the 3d orbital from 3s and 3p. So it means the amount of attractions from the nucleus to 3d orbital, same amount of repulsions experienced by the 3d orbital from inner 3s, 3p, 2p, etc. So the amount of attraction, amount of repulsion, both are equal here. So that's why the from iron to nickel atomic radii remains same, because the effective nuclear charge equal to the screening effects. Now is this clear, students? Students, I am asking to everyone, is it clear, students? Okay. Next, the atomic radii increases here. So atomic radii increases from copper to zinc with increasing atomic number, because the electron increases and the screening effect also increases. So and screening effect almost high due to the completely filled d orbitals. Therefore the effective nuclear charge is less than screening effect. So atomic radius are increased here. So yes, the nucleus from which the whatever the attraction experienced by the 3d orbitals, right, that attraction is very less. This attraction is very less as we are compared to the repulsions of inner orbital 3s 3p to 3d. So here the screening effect is greater because the d orbitals are completely filled here. The d orbitals are completely filled here. So it means the 3s and 3p orbitals are causes more repulsion to the 3d orbitals, and 3d orbitals also completely fulfilled, and that's why the 3d orbitals also causes the little bit repulsion to the 4s. So that's why the size goes on increase from copper to zinc. So that's why we called here the effective nuclear charge here less. The 3d orbital effective nuclear charge is less. It means the 3d electrons are getting the less nuclear attraction from the nucleus and more repulsions from the inner orbitals. That's why radius increases. Now is this point clear, students? Hello students. Now is this point clear? Okay. So in your NCERT textbooks, here the graph is mentioned, the figure is mentioned. The atomic radii here decreases, again remains same, and again increases from copper to zinc. Right, here the effective nuclear charge high, effective nuclear charge remains same, effective nuclear charge is less. The same in the 4D and 5D series also. Atomic radii along the group. So when we are moved from the top to bottom, the 3D series, 4D and the 5D series are explained the groups. So atomic radius are increases from 3D to second series 4D because electrons are shifted into the different shell and size increases, number of electrons are increased, number of electrons are shifted into the different shell. So that's why here the size goes on increase from 3D to 4D. But when we are moved from the 4D to the 5D series, the atomic radii again decreases here. Atomic radii decreases because the 4f orbitals are occupied before 5D. Electrons are shifted in the 4f orbitals. Before 5D orbitals. It means these 4f orbitals having the high nuclear charge, they experience the high nuclear charge as compared to D, P and S. F electron which having the strong nuclear charge experience a strong nuclear charge. Why it experience strong nuclear charge? Because the F orbital electrons again more diffuse shape than the D orbitals. So that's why the F orbital electrons the experiencing the less repulsions from the S, P and D. So that's why the 4f electrons are getting the more nuclear charge because of the large diffuse structure. So that's why the again radius are decreased. So this process, this process we called as a lengthened contractions. Here the 5D series and the 4D series, the structure. The 4f orbital which must be filled before 5D series element, and already I told you the 4f orbitals are more diffuse form and which are experiencing the more nuclear charge than the other orbitals. So the regularly decrease the atomic radii. So that's why it is called as a lengthened contraction. So here this structure, this is the 5D orbitals and this is we called it the 4f orbitals. 4f orbitals are shifted before 5D before 5d, and the 4f orbitals are causes less repulsion here. 4f orbital causes less repulsion to the outer 5d orbitals. So that's why the outer electrons also getting the more nuclear attractions from the nucleus. So that's why the size get reduced. So this phenomena we call as the lanthanide contractions. Now is this point clear, students? Student, is this point clear? Hello student, is this point clear? Okay. Okay students, please mute yourself. Hello students, mute yourself. The lanthanide contract. Mute yourself, students. Hello. Mute yourself. Yes, Daksh. What is it? You're sending some message, image, na? What is it? Acha. So lanthanide contractions is the second and the third D series exhibit the similar radii. Zirconium and hafnium, the more or less the similar radius. When you compare the zirconium to hafnium, they having the similar radius, and also exhibiting the similar physical and chemical property. So both are belongs to the relationships. So factors are there responsible for the lanthanide contractions. The first factor is the transition series and the attributed the similar causes, that is the imperfect shielding. The 4f orbitals which is experiencing the less shielding effect as compared to the inner orbitals, because these are the more diffuse structure, so that's why it's experiencing the less shielding effect. And the shielding effect of the 4f orbitals by the another is less than that of the d electrons. Already I told you the 4f orbital which causes less repulsion as compared to the 5d electrons. It means the 4f orbital, the inner 4f orbital causes less repulsion to the 5d electrons. It means the 5d electrons also getting the more nuclear attractions. So that's why the size get reduced here. The nuclear charge increases and size get reduced. Hello. So, hello students, is it point clear? So decrease in metallic radius coupled with the increased atomic mass result in general increase the density element. So the metallic radius it means the nuclear attractions are increases in the effective nuclear charge increase means the metallic particles are come close to each other. The metallic radius are decreases. Metallic radius are decrease means the increasing the density. increasing the density of the element. For example, here given the titanium and the copper atomic number, the increase the density in the, we have to note in the table. Here. So last one is here the density, students. Last one, the density. Not this one. No, sorry, it is along the period. Sorry, I forgot to merge the slide. Sorry. The ions, the ionic radius. Someone asking now, what is atomic and ionic radius? So look at here. This is the atom. The atom in which whatever the distance of whatever the distance exists from the center of the nucleus to the outermost electrons of the atom called as a atomic radius. And ionic radius means if this atom turns into the ion, it means it is either it may be the positive charge or negative charge, right? So distance from center of the nucleus to the outermost electrons of the ion, that is this distance we called as the ionic radius. So this is the difference, students. Both are A atom, but both are A species. Here this is the atom, and A atom after loss its electron it develop positive charge. After developing positive charge, we are considering here its radius from outermost electron to the core of the nucleus. Distance from outermost electron to the core of the nucleus, that is we called as a ionic radius. And this is the atom. The distance from center of nucleus to the outermost electrons of the atom called as the atomic radius. So ionic radius. So ionic radius here, students, the ionic radius, the ions has the same charge, given the progressive decrease in radius is increase the atomic numbers. When all the ions, all are the metallic species, scandium, titanium, vanadium, chromium, etc. up to zinc. Right. When you move along the groups, if they are turns into ion, scandium ion, because the +2 is the common oxidation state here, so that's why I written here the +2 oxidation state in each and every species. The +2 oxidation state is common here. So I'm from scandium ion to the zinc ion. Right. When you are move from left to right, the scandium ion to the zinc ions, again the size decreases here. Size decreases as we are compared to the respective atoms. The size is decreases, right? From scandium to the manganese. Again here the iron to nickel, ionic radius, iron, when you compare the atomic radius of the iron atom to the iron ion, the iron ion which having the large size and the iron atom having the large and iron ions are the small. Okay, students, mute yourself. Student. Mute yourself, students. Mute yourself. when you compare the iron atom and the iron ion, the iron ions are, we are comparing the iron ion radius with the iron atom. The here iron atom which having the iron ions, the iron atom having the large size as compared to the iron ion, because the two electrons are removed from the iron atom. So it means the effective nuclear charge again here increase. It means the number of protons are increase here, and number of protons are increase and electrons are decrease. So that's why the size here the decreases. So ions which having the small size as compared to the respective atoms, because the ions which contain the less number of electron as compared to the atoms. So ions are getting the more nuclear charge and the less shielding effect. The shielding effect of the d orbitals is not effective. In ionic state, the shielding effect is not effective because the nuclear charge is here strong, because the high number of proton and less number of electron. So that's why effective charge is, shielding effect is not effective. The net electrostatic force of the nuclear charge increases and ionic radius are decreased here. Ionic radius are decreased when we compare to the respective atoms, because of the effective nuclear charge is high here. For example, when you compare the copper atom and the copper ion. So copper atom outermost electrons, what are the effective nuclear charge is there, and again you compare the copper ion effective nuclear charge. The copper ions outermost electrons are getting the more nuclear attractions as compared to the atom. So that's why the ionic radius are decreases here. When you move from the scandium to zinc, here, the ionic radius are decreases here. Ionic radius are decreases because of increasing the number of protons. Hello students. Hello. Okay. Is this point clear, students? Hello. Student, the variation in ionic radius, is it clear? So here is the table. Ionization enthalpy. Already we know that the ionization enthalpy means amount of energy required to remove electron from its outermost orbit of the atom, called as a ionization enthalpy. Due to the increased nuclear charge, the size of the atoms are decreased here. As we move from the scandium, the titanium up to the manganese, the size of the atoms are here decreases. Size of the atom decreases. Size of the atom decrease means ಭಗವಂತ ದೇವರೇ, ಇವತ್ತಷ್ಟ ಎಷ್ಟಾಯ್ತು? 34 ನಿಮಿಷ ಆಯ್ತು. as we are moved from the left to right, the from scandium to manganese, the atomic size goes on decreases and number of protons are increases. Atomic size decreases, number of protons, or you may say effective nuclear charges are increases. So it means if here I am considering here scandium, the titanium, and this is the manganese. So here the electrons, outermost electrons, I am considering this is the outermost electrons. So the scandium having the large size, it means the removal of electron purpose here it require the less energy, because it is a large size and it the outermost electrons are experiencing the less nuclear charge. So this removal of electron purpose will require the less energy. Similarly, in case of the manganese in which the outermost the radius is small. The radius small means the outermost electron removal purpose require the large amount of energy here. Large amount of energy, because outermost electrons are experiencing the more nuclear charge. So that's why removal purpose require the large amount of energy. The small variations in the table 8.2 that gives the three ionization enthalpy of the first row element. The values show the successively the enthalpy of the element is do not increase the steeply the main groups. And the first ionization enthalpy in general increase the magnitude. In general, the magnitude of the increase in the second and the third ionization enthalpy. So when you compare consider the element, if you remove the first electrons, it becomes again size decrease, nuclear charges increase. So it means here I consider here the removal of electron purpose require the 1 kilojoule per mole of energy, right? And the second electrons removal purpose again require the higher energy, because here having the high nuclear charge, this electron experiencing the high nuclear charge and less shielding effect. So removal of this electron purpose I need the 2 kilojoule per mole of energy, and again its size get reduced here. So it means here whatever the third ionization enthalpy is there, the third ionization enthalpy are require the very large amount of energy, because the effective nuclear charge is maximum here. If effective nuclear charge maximum means the removal of electron purpose require the large amount of energy. So irregular variation of the first ionization enthalpy. In this here we are going to discuss only the first ionization enthalpy. On moving left to right along the first ionization transition, hello. Okay, wait. हाँ decrease remains same and again increase. If outermost electrons are decreases, atomic radii decrease, if we add more electron gain enthalpy, we are telling about electron gain enthalpy. Move along the period, this small size of the element. So already we have discussed the effective nuclear charge here greater. Scandium to manganese effective nuclear charge is greater than the screening effect. So it means the again the I think the copper to zinc. Copper to zinc. Yes, yeah. Here decreases because the size here increases. Size increase, ionization enthalpy decrease. Here ionization enthalpy high, ionization enthalpies are moderate, and here the ionization enthalpy is decrease. Understood? The first ionization enthalpy, the effective nuclear charge increases. The expected to the general, the first ionization enthalpy should be increased trend. However, the trend is irregular because the removal of electrons alter the relative ionization enthalpy of 4s and 3d. The recognition of energy accompanying the ionization, this results the release of exchange of energy which increases as the number of electrons increases in the configuration, and also the transference of the s electrons to the d orbital. So in case of the first ionization enthalpy, 3d and 4s, 3d and the 4s orbitals try to decide the ionization enthalpy. If the 3d orbitals are completely fulfilled, if these 3d orbitals are completely fulfilled here, like in this form, so it means 5 in this. It means the 3d orbitals are want to more stabilize themselves by releasing these electrons. So the like the chromium, for example, the chromium, the 3d5 4s1. The chromium, the first ionization enthalpy is very less. Chromium first ionization enthalpy is very less here because it want to stabilize themselves as a 3d5. So that's why it is more easily release the 4s electrons from the outermost orbit. Then after removal of 4s electron, the chromium ion in which left only the 3d 5 electron and 4s 0. So chromium plus ion, chromium plus one oxygen state purpose, it require very less amount of energy here. Chromium, the first ionization enthalpy is very less here, because here the completely it is stable with 3d 5 electrons. It is the completely stable, that is we called as the degenerate orbitals. Degenerate means they are having the same energy here. So the first ionization enthalpy of the d block element can be decided by the 3d and 4s orbitals. If 3d5 in which the having the less number of electron, less than 5 electrons or more than 5 electrons, so in that case the ionization enthalpy is high. Ionization enthalpy is very high. But if 3d 5 electrons are completely fulfilled with the 5 electrons or the 10 electrons, 3d orbitals, if it completely, it is the either it is half filled or completely filled, in that case the first ionization enthalpy is very less. Similarly, the copper 3d10 4s1. So copper more easily release the first electrons. Copper which is more easily release the first electron, because after releasing one electron, it is the most stabilized here with the 3d 10 electrons and 4s 0. So copper and the chromiums, the first ionization enthalpy is very less as compared to the other species. Is it clear, students? Hello? In case of copper, similarly the copper and chromium, in both cases the first ionization enthalpy is very less as compared to the rest of the species. Yes, copper is stable with 3d10. Copper is stable with 3d10 and chromium is stable with 3d5. Either it is completely filled like 3d10 or it is half filled 3d5. Yes orbital. It is very easy to remove the electron from the s orbital. How many electrons? How many? I think some disturbance are there outside. Yes. 29. The s orbital have 1 electron. 3d10 4s1. Copper atom. Hello. Understood? Okay, students, mute yourself. Some noise are coming from the back sides. Okay, look at here, students. The chromium have a first ionization enthalpy is very low because the electron gives the stable electron configuration 3d5. So chromium ions and chromium, out of which the chromium ion is more stable as compared to the chromium atom, because here the attain 3d5 electrons and 4s0, and here attain the 3d5 and 4s1. So here the completely filled d orbitals here, there is no repulsion from there is no repulsion and attraction from the outer orbitals. So that's why it is the chromium ion is more stable as compared to the chromium atom. And the chromium the first ionization enthalpy is very low. Chromium atom more easily release the first electron, because the chromium atom always they want to stabilize themselves as a chromium ion in the last outermost orbital 3d5 configurations. Now is it clear, students? Next, the zinc, the very high ionization enthalpy. Zinc very high ionization enthalpy because the electron has to be removed from the 4s orbitals. 4s also stable because it is completely filled here. It is completely filled, and the 3d also here completely filled. The 3d electrons also completely filled, and the 4s also completely filled. So that's why the first ionization enthalpy of the zinc is very high. So because it is completely filled, it cannot want to remove electrons. They cannot want to remove electron from the 4s orbitals. So that's why the zinc, the first ionization enthalpy is very high. But when zinc 3d10 and 4s2 turns into Zn plus, that is 3d10 and 4s1. So tell me, students, in the zinc in the plus 1 oxidation state, is it require high ionization enthalpy or low ionization enthalpy? Low, because it is unstable here, this is. So that's why it is more easily released. The second ionization enthalpy is very less and easy to attain the 3d10 configuration. So that's why here it requires the high ionization enthalpy, and in the second case it requires the low ionization enthalpy. Right, students? Okay, the third point, similarly chromium state, already I discussed the chromium atom and chromium ion. When you compare the chromium atom, copper. copper turns into the copper ion 3d10 4s1, and here the 3d10 4s0. So 4s0. So the first ionization enthalpy is very less here. It is more easily release the electron from the s orbitals and easy to the stabilize themselves as a 3d10. Now is these 3 points are clear, students? The first ionization enthalpy along the period. So these are the exceptional cases. Right. Again I written, I think the same slides are repeated. Sorry, same slides. Oh, sorry. That the trend in second ionization enthalpy. Second ionization enthalpy, students. The second ionization enthalpy, the metal exits the +2 oxidation state, M2 plus oxidation state. So when the first and second ionization enthalpy, when metal which turns into metal ion, so metal turns into metal ion in a +2 oxidation state. Well, please students, erase this one. Metal turns into the metal ion, during in which the whatever the amount of energy required, that energy I consider as a x kilojoule per mole. So that x kilojoule per mole of energy is the same energy required, that is the energy of atomization. The process of atomization purpose, whatever the energy required, the process of atomization purpose, whatever the energy required, that is the energy of the first and second ionization enthalpy. So here the first and second ionization enthalpy energy is equal to enthalpy of atomizations. Here the metal from which we want to separate the one metal atom, that is the enthalpy of atomization. So here we require the energy, that is the x kilojoule per mole, right? Similarly, the any metal turns into the M2 plus purpose of whatever the energy required, that is more or less closer to this x kilojoule per mole. It means the enthalpy of atomization process purpose, whatever the energy required, that energy is equal to the first and second ionization enthalpy. So here in the second ionization enthalpy usually high for the chromium copper. The chromium copper already stable, chromium stable with the 3d5 and copper stable with the 3d10 electron. So that's why the second ionization enthalpy, chromium +1 and the copper +1, the second ionization enthalpy is very high because they are completely stable with the half filled with full filled electrons. So that's why the removal of the second electron purpose here requires the large amount of energy. But in case of zinc, the second ionization enthalpy is very less. In case of the zinc, second ionization enthalpy is very less because the zinc turns into the zinc ion +1 oxidation state. It means it is completely stable here. Stable. For removal purpose here require the high energy. We require high energy. Afterwards it turns into 3d10 and 4s1. The 4s1 is unstable here. So that's why it easily releases this one electron from the s orbitals and attain the 4s2. So here require the second ionization enthalpy is less. Right, students, these are the exceptional cases in the second ionization enthalpy of the copper, chromium and zinc. Is it clear, students? Second ionization enthalpy is clear? first and second ionization enthalpy, this one. Okay, Abhinay, yesterday we discussed the enthalpy of atomization. So it means the metal piece from which you want to remove one metal atom, purpose require the whatever the energy required, that is I consider as a kilojoule per mole, right? A kilojoule per mole. So it means enthalpy of atomization, whatever the enthalpy of atomization purpose energy required, the same amount of energy required for the second ionization enthalpy of the metal atom. So metal turns into metal plus 2 oxidation state. So here the whatever the energy is there, whatever the energy required, here also we need the energy, that is the a kilojoule per mole. Any respective metal. For scandium, the scandium purpose I need the, for example, this is the scandium. The scandium enthalpy of atomization purpose I need a kilojoule per mole of energy. Similarly, the scandium turns into plus 2 oxidation state purpose I need the enthalpy of atomization energy. I need enthalpy of atomization energy to scandium attain into the plus 2 oxidation state. Is it clear? Is it clear, students? Please, students, please. I requesting you, all the students, please mute yourself. Okay, Abhinay, is this clear? It means enthalpy of atomization purpose, what is the energy required for the respective atoms, the same energy required for the enthalpy of the second ionization, first and second ionization. Enthalpy of atomization purpose, whatever the energy required, that energy is equal to the first and second amount of that energy is equal to removal of 2 electrons from the metal atom. Hello? Okay. Okay, student, this is the third ionization enthalpy. Last one, the trend in the third ionization enthalpy here. The third ionization enthalpy, in which the ionization enthalpy is not complicated by the 4s orbital factor, show the greater difficult to remove the electrons from manganese plus 2, and because manganese plus 2 always manganese plus 2 oxidation state attain the D5 configuration, and Zn plus 2 also attain the D10 configurations. Zinc plus 2 also attain the D10 configurations. Yes. Hello students. Hello. Someone asking question, no? Someone asking your question, students. Okay, students. Can I continue? Sure. So magnesium plus 2 attain the 3d5 configuration, and the zinc plus 2 attain the 3d10 configurations. So it means the removal of electron the third electron from the manganese ion is very difficult because it is completely stable here. Similarly, the removal of third electron from the zinc ion is very difficult because it completely attains the 3d10 configurations. Right, students? Beta. This is the last slide. Daksh, this is last. Oh, Harshit. So third ionization enthalpy of iron is very small here, because the iron plus 2 attain the 3d5 and 4s1 configurations. So iron, in which the less energy required to remove the third electrons, because here the ionization and enthalpy require very small, because it want to attain the most stable 3d5 configuration, so it easily release the one electron from the outermost orbitals. Right. So students, okay students, the third ionization enthalpy is quite high. Magnesium. Sorry students, sorry for disturbance. Okay, the third ionization enthalpy is quite high in magnesium and zinc, but it is very less in iron, students. Hello. Okay students, the third ionization enthalpy in magnesium, zinc ion, third ionization enthalpy is very high. If आवाज is not clear, means there is a network problem, beta. Just magnesium ion plus 2 oxidation state and zinc ion plus 2 oxidation state. Okay, so just only the 2 minutes. This topic will be finished here. Hello. Now voice is clear, students. Now is it clear? Now is it clear, students? Now is it clear, students? No means the network problem on your side. Okay, only 2 point. Only last point. Okay. Now voice is clear, students. Now voice is clear. Voice is clear. Okay, fine. So magnesium plus 2 oxidation and the zinc plus 2 oxidation purpose require the very high energy here. High energy require, and the iron. Chalo, leave it. Okay, no problem.